Greetings, my awesome blue stars. Welcome back to your Not So Daily, exposing our classmates. Let me tell you a story from class. Once in art class, I was making clay sculptures. Class was about to end, so my art teacher, Mr. Adam, told everyone to go wash their hands. I was the first at the sink, but less than 5 seconds later, this guy I'll call Mohammed came over. He shoved me aside, saying, "Move out of the way." One of the girls, let's call her Aisha, said, "She's just washing her hands." And Mohammed replied, "Well, I want to wash mine too." As I was walking back to my desk, his backpack was in the way, so I kicked it under his desk and went back to my seat. Then Aisha yelled, "Oh my gosh, she just moved your bag. Ha ha ha. You gonna let that slide?" Mohammed, look. After that, Mohammed got mad, grabbed a random student's dirty water, and threw it at me. Thankfully, it didn't hit me directly, but it stained my blazer and got it soaking wet. I picked up the pot and realized it still had water in it, so I looked up at him, grinning. Then Aisha yelled, "Mohammed, I think she's gonna get you back." I took one step forward, and he dashed out of the classroom with his belongings, screaming like a girl. Honestly, I didn't think I looked that intimidating. I half wanted to throw it at him, but I couldn't be bothered. I took a few steps out of the classroom and saw him running into the other school buildings. But because I stepped out, it was against the rules, so I had to stay after school. Mr. Adam was just glad I didn't chase him and told me to write a report about what happened. The next day, I found out he received an hour of detention, but my blazer was still dirty, so luckily, I didn't have to wear it during our afternoon uniform checks. Let me tell you another story. In English class, we've had random substitutes because our teacher is on maternity leave. One day, a new substitute, Mr. Andy, came into class. Amelia yelled out loud, "It's my favorite German teacher." Everyone started talking loudly and laughing because he has a strong accent. Meanwhile, Henry, Naz, and Peter were messing around with a kid's coat they had taken. Henry ripped it open, and then Naz and Peter started spreading the fluff and feathers all over the back of the classroom. Somehow, Mr. Andy didn't even notice what they were doing. He was busy telling the girls to quiet down when Emily shouted, "I'm not being loud, we're talking about the work." Mr. Andy replied, "Oh, so you're refusing to listen? I will go get a senior teacher." Amelia started copying his accent, and then he stood up and left the classroom. As soon as he left, the boys began making loud eagle noises. Then Emily said, "OMG, what if we lock him out of the classroom?" Everyone went silent. They all looked at each other, waiting for someone to do it. Leah said she would lock the door, but everyone had to stay quiet. She quickly locked it and sat back down. Seconds later, Mr. Andy came back and tried to open the door, but it was locked. He looked through the window with a stern expression, and the entire class burst out laughing, banging their desks and giggling. Then a senior teacher came to the door and said that someone had better open it or the whole class would get detention. A random boy opened the door, and Mr. Andy asked, "Who shut the door?" Amelia found the whole situation too funny and put her head on the desk, laughing. Mr. Andy assumed it was her and pointed her out. Amelia kept insisting it wasn't her, but she still ended up getting removed from the class. Then we had another substitute, a young woman who, I won't even lie, was a total baddie. She was really beautiful, but her tone of voice definitely wasn't. Henry kept trying to act like her servant, and we all knew it was because he found her attractive. Every time a guy did something she didn't like, she would scream at the top of her lungs. She didn't even look like a teacher, she looked like a student who had just come out of high school. Nobody really took her seriously, and my friends were getting more and more annoyed every time she shouted. After that, we never saw him again, but we got this random lady as our new substitute. And let me tell you one thing she can't teach, even if her life depended on it. First of all, she was yelling and threatening everyone, saying she would check the seating plan and that anyone not in their assigned seat would get a detention. Then, a few minutes later, she realized she didn't even know the password to open the seating plan. So instead, she just looked around the classroom and wrote everyone's name on a sheet of paper, saying, "I think you're all in your seats. This is the seating plan now." And in maths, we were drawing graphs when Mr. Donaldson noticed that Isaac was using a crayon. He held it up in front of the whole class and said, "Are we in nursery?" Isaac just stood there looking completely embarrassed while everyone started laughing. Then Sir said, "Here's a gift from me to you for free," and handed him a pencil like it was some kind of award. Later on, he spotted Jacob's tiny, broken piece of whiteboard. He looked at it in disbelief and said, "What is this?" Then he grabbed it and threw it back against the wall in frustration. The whole class went quiet for a second, and then people started laughing again because it was so dramatic over such a small thing. I low-key love rage baiting Mr. Donaldson, though. I do it in a way that doesn't break any rules, so he can't punish me. Plus, he always acts like a stuck-up veteran and rarely breaks character. Let me tell you about an incident. I was walking to maths with my perfect muffin from lunch because I'm a slow eater. He spun his finger, gesturing for me to turn toward the bin. Moon dared me to go up to his face and eat it for a second time, so I did. I walked up to Mr. Donaldson and downed the entire muffin in one bite. He stared at me with the most appalled expression. Then he said, "That is the most disgusting thing I've seen today." He slowly moved back, so I quickly went into the classroom. The day after that, I was walking out with my half-eaten baguette in my mouth. Mr. Donaldson looked at me with his tired eyes and said, "Blue bean, please don't do it again." He pointed at the bin, but turned around slightly because he knew I was going to down my food anyway. A few seconds later, he looked back at me and rolled his eyes when he saw my mouth full.
Hey guys, you can call me Luna. There's this girl in my class, we'll call her Mia. I decided not to be friends with her because she makes weird, inappropriate jokes and talks about uncomfortable topics such as the Roblox spawn cult. There's also another girl, Nora, who isn't my friend either. She called Mia a fake friend, and I told her about how Mia once gave me a note saying she wanted to unalive herself because of me. My friend Sophie backed me up, but Nora still chose to trust Mia over us. Because of that, Sophie and I decided not to be friends with Nora either, since she suddenly stopped trusting us for no reason. Months later, Mia and Nora are still talking about me. They even come up to my friends just to gossip about me right in front of me. And they avoid my interests just because I like them. Pretty petty, right? Anyway, that was a long 3 months of my life. Goodbye, fellow beans.
Hi, I'm Finn. Here is my story. On Friday afternoon, I was sick, so I didn't go to school. I was bored, so I decided to text my friends hi. When I woke up, I saw that Ava had replied and was texting nonstop about what had happened at school. So I asked her, "What happened?" This is what she told me. Apparently, during gym class, they were doing warm-ups when my classmates Daniel and Sam started acting weird. At first, nobody paid much attention, but when they started the main lesson, oh boy, the two of them began joking around in a strange way with each other. They kept going behind one another, giving each other back shootings until the gym teacher noticed and punished them. After that, everything went back to normal.
Hey, my awesome blue stars, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to comment with blue hearts if you've reached this far, and also mention whose story was your favorite. Peace out, my awesome blue stars. Bye.